Welcome to Webpage 101, Episode 1, Getting Started. Tag, you're it! Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Webpage 101. This is the Getting Started episode. You may have thought about creating your own webpage or website, but you don't know much about programming languages, and you think that to program a webpage would be complicated or expensive. You might need special software to do that with, but that couldn't be further from the truth as far as creating web pages go. Now, other programming languages, yes, they can be complicated, and you need special software to create things with certain web languages. But with the creating web pages with HTML, you really don't need anything except Notepad that comes already pre-installed on Windows operating systems. Let me show you here. This is the Notepad that comes with every Windows operating system, so you can use that. Or I have found a notepad called Metapad, and this is what it looks like. It has a few more features in there. Now, I used to use this for my web pages, and it worked pretty good. And if you want to use this, there's a website you can go down to install it, and I will show you that here. It's right here, Metapad, and you can install that here and use that. But for these episodes, I'm going to be using a notepad called Notepad++, and that's what this looks like here. Now, with Notepad++, when you download it for the first time, your screen's going to be white. But I use a theme that was created by a person that goes by the handle of Clever Techie. He has a YouTube channel, and I will show you that here. He has his theme that he uses for his notepad. It's called the Clever Techie theme, and you can go to this video, and down in the description it has a link there, and in the video it shows you how to install that. So I have a link down in the description of this video here if you want to stop this video and go down and go to his YouTube channel and download the theme and install it. Then just come back to this video when you're done with that. Okay, so now to get the Notepad++, let's go here. You'll just have to go to this website here, and again, link will be in the description. And this is where you download this, and then, like I said, when you install it the first time, it'll have the white background, and you can use the white background if you want. The darker one's just a little easier on the eyes, I think. And I liked his theme, so I used it. And also, we're going to want to configure Notepad++ just a little bit. First thing we're going to want to do is go to Plugins here, and then go to Plugin Manager, and then Show Plugin Manager. And when you look here, these are all the available plugins that you can use on Notepad++. But for our purposes, we're going to go over here to the Install Plugins and make a note of these. And after you make a note of these, you can pause this video and then go to the Plugin Manager and install these plugins. Just click on them and then hit install. And after they're installed, you may have to restart Notepad++ again. But if you do, just go ahead and restart it and then come back to this video. So now we're going to close this. And now before we actually start writing a program, we're going to tell Notepad++ what language we're going to be writing in. When you first start it up, it comes by default to the normal text file. That's just a standard text document, txt, but what we're going to be writing is HTML. So we want to go languages here, go down to H's, and we want to go to HTML. Now whenever we save our file, it'll automatically be saved in the HTML format. Now I'm going to show you the basic framework of how a web page is made, and all web pages are started out this same way, from the most complex to the most simple. First, we're going to start out with what's called a tag, and web pages are just basically created in alt tags and also what is called cascading style sheets, and I'll be getting into more of that as the episodes progress, but right now we're just going to make a basic web page. So what we want to do is make the first tag, and you start out with a less than brackets and then an exclamation mark and then doc type, and this doesn't necessarily have to be uppercase. But a lot of people just write it like that, and then make a space and type in HTML and then a greater than sign. Now what this tag does is it tells the internet what type of HTML you're using, and this tells it that we're using the current version of HTML, which is HTML5. You can use different versions, just putting in the information in this doc type tag, but you really want to write web pages for the most current version of HTML, and this will tell the internet what type of version of HTML you're using. Now the next tag is HTML tag, and this tells your browser that this is a web page document. It's not a text file, it's specifically a web page. And then the next tag we're going to do is the head. And with the head, this where this goes, this has a title, and you put meta tags in here, and meta tags tell search engines what it's supposed to do with your web page. Tells it a little bit about your web page, the title, and some more information. And you can put in meta tags that tell a search engine what pages not to search and how often it should come back and search your website or web page. So the next tag we're going to put in here is the title tag. And right now we're not going to put in a title, so we're just going to close this tag out. And the way you close a tag is you put your less than bracket in and do a backslash, and then just type in the tag name again, which in this case it's title. And now we're going to close out the head tag. And you do that with a backslash, put in head, and close that. Now we want to do a body tag. And since I'm not going to put anything in the body right now, I'm just going to go on a new line and close the body tag out. And then lastly, I'm going to end the web page until and just close the HTML out. Now here you have the basic framework for every website on the internet. Like again, no matter how complex or how simple, this is how they all begin. Now we have basically made a web page. So now we want to save it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to minimize this right now. Close all these out. Close them, minimize them down. And I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop. And we're just going to come up here for a new folder. And I'm just going to call this folder Hello. And the reason for that will be apparent in just a few minutes. So I'm going to just make this Hello. Okay. Now we're going to go back to Notepad++, and we're going to save our file. And we're going to save as, and we're going to go to the desktop, and we're going to click on Hello. And we want to name this file Hello also. So we're going to go ahead and save that. Now let's go back to our folder. See, in our folder we have an HTML file called hello.html. We're going to click on that. And you see up here it says Hello HTML. By default it uses the file name since we didn't specify a title. And as you can see, we didn't put anything on our web page, so it's just blank. So now let's give it a little something in there. Go ahead and close this, and we'll minimize that. And we'll go back to Notepad++. Now traditionally, when someone is learning a new programming language, we always like to start out with the saying hello world, to tell the world hello, that you're starting to learn a new language, and you just want to bring that out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the body tag here. And everything that you put in between the body and the backslash body tag to close out, that's where everything shows up on the internet. Now you may put in things in the head that are controls, but basically everything that you put into the body will show up on your page. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to make a new tag. This is for headings, and we're going to use the biggest heading that the internet allows. So I've made a less than sign, and we're going to put H1 for head 1, heading 1. And now we're going to type hello world, and then we're going to close out this tag. Okay, now we're going to save our file again, and this time we can just put save. Now we're going to go back to our folder and open up, and here you see hello world. Now it's just black text, and this is the biggest heading. But what if we wanted to put that into the center, the first line, and center it on the web page? And maybe we wanted to give it a color. Maybe, let's say red. Okay. So go ahead and close that page and minimize it. Go ahead and close that. Go back to Notepad++. Now we want to, let's say first of all, we want to move that to the center of the page. We're going to come back here to the head, and on a blank line we're going to make a center tag. And now we want to change the font color to red. So now we're going to make a new tag called font. And again, your greater or less than and greater than brackets. Now we want to specify the color. So we're going to put color equals, and now you want a quotation bracket here because you're going to type in a color, which is going to be red, and now you want another quotation to close that out, and then your greater than bracket to close the to enclose the font tag. And now we're going to go here just in front of world, and we're going to close the font tag out, backslash font. Okay, and now we're going to save this again. Well, before we do that, we need to close the center tag out. So we're going to come over here, and on another line here right before the closing body tag, we're going to close the center. Okay, so now we've got our basic outline for Webpage. We've put in the heading, which is heading 1, which is the largest heading that the internet uses, and we've chosen the font color, which will be red, and we want to display Hello World in the center of the first line, and then we've closed the font with the backslash, and we've closed the head with the backslash. So now we're going to go ahead and save the file, and we'll minimize this, go back to our folder, and then we're going to open this up, and there it is, Hello World in the center of the first line and in red. Now remember, up here the file name was displayed in the tab because we didn't specify a title. So let's go ahead and give the web page a title. Go back to Notepad++. Now go into the back up here into the head between the title and the backslash title closing tag, and we're going to type in Hello World. And again, we're going to save this. Go back to minimize, go back to our folder, enter that, and now you see up here in the tab, instead of the file name, it has the title that we put into the between the title tags, Hello World. So now this is a basic web page. This is how every page starts out, and with this you've made your first web page. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and check back next week, next Thursday. Another episode will be up at 12 noon to continue this. Until then, everyone take care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.